National cracker. This is my favorite time of day. Water crackers. You put a smile on my face. You're Jamaican. You're number one. Come on, enjoy it every day. You can have it in so many ways. You make it a perfect Jamaican moment when you make it national.
Talk Up Youth, brought to you by National Baking Company, a Stanley and Empress production.
Can you imagine, from all the abuses and injustice faced by our youths today, sexual abuse, drugs, crime, depression, I am still alone. Healing, can I rise again? Talk up youth, 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 talk up youth.
Hello, my youth. It's not time to talk up, it's time to listen up. Youth, know that education is the key and knowledge is power.
Talk Up Youth, Mr. Talk Up. This is a place where we look at the state of our youth in Jamaica, giving particular attention to what accounts for their success in pursuing their development goals, no matter what the obstacle. We zoom our lens in now on our wards of the state. Let's hear from Candine. Hi, Candine.
Hi.
Welcome to TUI. How are you?
I'm alright.
That's good. We're going to get straight into all the stuff that you went through growing up, all right? So you ended up, so the viewers know, you ended up being a ward of the state, right?
Yes.
Let's go through that whole process. When did it all begin?
Well, I got in a fight with some girls and I ended up wounding one of them. So I got charged for unlawful wounding.
Unlawful wounding?
Yes.
All right. So how did you wound her?
We were fighting and she hit me in the face and I had a knife underneath my blouse. Mm-hmm. And I actually retaliated by stabbing her. So I lifted up the knife, I was actually thumping, but I ended up stabbing her, so I stabbed her.
How old were you?
I was 16.
What is a young girl at 16 walking with a knife under her blouse? Why is she walking with a knife under her blouse? And how did you get into this altercation?
Well, at 16, I was a girl that was always walking with my knife. Always. It was a time when all the things were happening with the rapes and the taking away of young girls. So I said, I'm dying trying. So I walk with my knife and I was seen as a fighter. I was a fighter, so. And I was always being ganged, so I always have to walk with the knife. So I said, if I even want me catch me, stab the one.
So you were always bullied and ganged up against?
Not really bullied, but because of being a bad girl per se, you always find somebody want to conquer the bad girl. Oh. So you understand? So you can't beat me while one can't beat me. You will just come in a group.
Gang up on you.
Yes.
Why were you a bad girl?
Well, I don't know. I think it's because. My mom, before she died, everybody keeps saying to me, a bad girl, a bad girl. And because I didn't really know my mother, I think I just wanted to be like her. I just really, really wanted to be like her. So I tried everything. I gave trouble, I misbehaved.
When and how did your mother die? How old were you?
I was 1 year and 5 months old. And my mom, she died, she got shot. In Waterhouse by gunmen. Yeah.
By gunmen?
Yeah.
Okay. So you didn't know your mom. Who did you grow up with?
I grew up with my grandmother.
Okay. What was life like with your grandmother?
Well, life with my grandmother, it was... my grandmother, she was... she didn't really understand how to deal with things, let's say, things and times changing. She didn't really understand how to deal with
Young people?
Young people. Yeah, she didn't really understand how to deal with it. So I was misunderstood by my grandmother, but I was always trying to get her improvement.
Right.
With school, she just decided that when I got to grade 8, she told me that she was no longer able to send me to school.
At grade 8?
At grade 8.
So what did you do then? How did you manage?
That was the period when I decided to turn to guys. Turn to guys. It was normal. It was normal, so I decided that, all right, I'm just going to have sex. Sex is for exchange so I can get money and go to school, buy my things. Yeah, so I started using my body. But not like a prostitute or anything. I just developed a guy like me, we had a relationship, and he wouldn't see it as exchanging
Sex
for money. He would see it as a relationship. So,
Okay. When you say money for school, what kind of things did you need to pay for that you couldn't get your grandmother or anybody else to help?
At this beginning of a school year, everything that a child or a student need at the beginning of a school year, uniforms, books, bags, shoes, everything. Then I would need money to buy food to eat because my grandmother refused to feed me. So I had to get money like to buy food to eat. We were living under the same roof. I actually left the house to show that it was not about boys.
Yes.
I left the house and I went to live with my neighbor right next door to her. We could actually walk in the same house. And my grandmother called the police on me.
And said what?
And she told them, I don't know that what I was doing, I must be partying, but the neighbor that I was living with, she allowed us to go to parties, but not like dance, and we had like curfews. And
So
we
your grandmother
went
called
as
the
a group.
police?
We went with her daughters, and so she sent us as a group.
Right.
My grandmother called the police, and she told them this, and they told me that I had to go home, go over back to my grandmother's house, and I did that. I went over there, and my grandmother went back to the same routine. She asked me to get baptized, and I didn't want to.
Right. In the Christian church?
Yes. I didn't want so she didn't feed me, no school money for school. My brother actually tried, but then he lost his work. My uncle made an effort, but then he got annoyed with me growing up, being a rebellious teenager. So he got annoyed, and I had a few people who tried and just decided that they're giving up, so they gave up. So that was it.
But we haven't given up on you on Talk Up Youth, and I know you have so much more to share. We're going to talk about the little bit more of the negative and the trials, tribulations, and then we focus on the positive after the break. You are tuned in, my people, into the only TV show in Jamaica giving the youth a true voice. We're here speaking with Candine, once a ward of the state. She's been through a lot, anger issues. You entered earlier on the show speaking of the stabbing. So we've heard about your grandmother. We've heard about your family life. But let's hear more about being a ward of the state. The moment you arrived, how did you get there? Tell us when the judge sentenced you.
Funny enough, a lot of people are surprised when I tell them this, but I actually wanted to go to an institution. I didn't plan it, but when it happened and I got mixed up with the judge and everything, I decided that, you know what, it's the best thing right now. When I go to an institution, I won't have to use my body for sex. I won't have to have people touching me, because you know what? You see, when you're having sex and people realize that you're doing this for money, or you're in a relationship with a guy, they think that it's okay. Well, she's having sex with this guy anyway. It's okay to touch her. So
anybody feels that you're their property.
So I decided that, this is the best thing. Nobody to abuse me, and I'm still gonna get my education, because that was from the start. That was important to me, my education, because I realized that was the way out. And that, getting an education, getting a good job would make my grandmother proud.
Right.
And at the end of the day, even though I went through all this with her, I really wanted her to accept me. And, I wasn't really like my mom. I gave up trying to be like my mom.
Yes.
But I was me, and I just wanted my grandmother to accept that. So
Yes.
when I got to the judge, when I went to court, I actually wanted. So the clerk of court stand up and said, "You understand what's happening here?" And I said, "Yes." "You understand you're being sent to an institution?" I said, "Yes." "You understand that you're not going to see your family?" And I said, "Yes." Because she couldn't understand the smirk on my face, and that was because I wanted to go to the institution.
Right.
Because I'm going to get what I wanted, and that was going to school
Yes.
and get an education.
Okay, so when you entered the institution, which one was it? And tell us about that experience. Just walk us through that day. Walk us through the moments.
When I got to Armadale, when I stepped out of the car, everything was silent. I don't remember anything. I always go back and try to remember what happened, but when I stepped out of the car, all these girls started screaming, "Baby, she look good here. That girl look good, me like her." You understand? So I'm like, yeah, I'm popular. I liked it.
Right.
So I said, yes, I'm popular. I was eager to go inside.
When you went inside, what did you see? What was the experience?
When I went inside, there was this office at the front. I went in there, they checked me. They gave me a sheet and they gave me a dress.
These are the wardens?
Yes.
Okay.
And they were filthy. They were dirty.
The dress
sheet
is
was dirty.
Oh.
The sheet smelled like stench with like somebody pee on it, and the dress was dirty. It was green. So they gave it to me. I didn't have a choice. I had to take it. They said, well, there was no more in storage. So I took them and I went to the dormitory.
Mm-hmm. In the dormitory now, you met the girls.
Yes.
What kind of girls were in there with you?
There were girls. Surprisingly, some of the girls didn't seem as bad.
Mm-hmm.
One or two, and when I say one or two, I mean one or two,
Okay.
like one or two on my fingers.
When you say bad, what
Like
was
girls
their
that were
behavior
like, they think they're the boss, they run the place,
Okay.
you understand, or decided that they want a gal, I have to get the one, you understand? So
When you say want that gal, in what way?
I mean, in a lesbian sense.
Oh, so you saw that. So that was
That
the
happened for me.
environment.
That happened for
so
me.
lesbian activities happen
Yes.
in our with our young girls
Yes.
in the institutions. What else did you see? What else was going on with the girls? Any other tragedies? What were some of the other terrible things that happened inside with the girls?
Other than being raped, some of the girls were raped. There were girls that they kicked them off the bed. You have to sleep on the floor. When you had to use the buckets to pass, you know what, the feces and so on, and in a corner. And then I went to the shower. The first day, I went to the shower and I realized there was no curtains. And when I went inside and I turned on the shower and I looked at there was no door there. So I looked and there were like about 15 girls looking underneath me.
How did you feel?
I felt so exposed. I've never been so embarrassed in my life. I never felt so naked. I was naked and I felt naked. It was so creepy. Something like that never ever happened to me in my life.
Would you want to ever see another young lady in that situation?
No.
Was it one of the worst moments in your life?
It was.
Tell us when it got really bad. Let's get to the fire.
When the fire, the night I was on the top bunk with some girls, and everybody, they were planning to run away, but we do that every day.
Oh, every day you plan to run away?
Every day we plan to run away. We're going over the fence to catch cows, because we're hungry, we're tired of the chicken back. So we want to do the cow, we go over the fence to catch cow, and we tired feet with hand, we are going to make fork, and, we sit down and we talk,
Right.
Anywhere I find these Walipa girls, people we are going to always talk.
Yes.
So it was normal until when one of the warriors came at the window and she started cursing out expletive. Plan to run away and expletive. And the girl said, yes, we plan to run away. But I thought they were just being,
Just talking.
I thought they were just answering. So
Oh, okay.
then I saw one of the grill on one of the windows came down, and they started to hit out the windows with one of the things. But the plan was, the thing of running away was like from weeks before. But we always do it, so
Right.
it's like normal.
Uh-huh.
And then they start, the warders, like the security alarm, the wardresses and the wardens, and one came to the window and she was talking to us and saying, when you behave in yourself, I go call police and something. And girls, them get rebellious. Call them, because most of the girls didn't really know what was happening. They were just arguing because they said, why they taking set on us, you understand? But the girls that had actually planned, they knew what was happening. So some of the girls weren't even aware that somebody was planning, the girls were planning to run away because they were on that side. I was on the side that the girls were planning to run away, so I knew that they were planned. So, and then they started to come with their buttons, and the girls them say, we decided who would run through which window, so they started to throw out there wasn't any feces per se, it was just like pee-pee, urine in the bucket. So
Yes.
they improvised, because we had to bed, and we had the buckets under the bed
Yes.
with water. So we added water to the urine, and they started throwing it out and there, and so then they said, this window is full, we're gonna have to lick out the next window. So you know what you gotta do, distract them. So the girls here throwing out people while on the next window you had girls now taking off that bar as well
To come out. And how did this fire happen? That I want to get to, because I know we have so much we could speak about here, but I want to get to the moment of the fire. Yeah. Not necessarily how it happened, but when it happened.
All right, let me tell you.
What did you see? What happened to you?
There was this officer, there were two police officers, female and a male. The female was talking to us and something, so the girl started, the male was started opening up, but his tone of voice, how he was speaking, like, I'm the boss, you listen to me. I talk, you listen, and you do. You understand? So the girls, them get rebellious now, start telling things and beer something, them start going with. I saw when the police left, I didn't, and then he came back. All of a sudden, my eyes went dark, and I couldn't breathe. And then everything went silent. Then I heard screams. I couldn't breathe, but I didn't realize, I didn't know. I thought I was having an asthma attack or something. So I said, yes, something is really happening in my head. I jumped off the car, ran to the window. The window was blocked with girls. The one of the windows had fire, so that was not out of it. So we went to the one without the fire, and it was blocked. Two girls were stuck in the window, and other girls were surrounding them. So I ran back, and I fell to the ground. I actually dropped myself to the ground. I said, I give up, because I couldn't breathe. Then when I went to the floor, I felt the water. It was hot. And I jumped up back and I said, no. And I ran back to the window again, and still. So I stood behind them because I was new. The thing is, you're new. You don't have certain talk. You can't talk or you can't say certain things because you're new. And we didn't realize that the fire was that extreme. So we were thinking, tomorrow morning, if we go push them, and tomorrow morning, will of them beat me? You understand? I was thinking that. So I said, no, come out one by one now. Jump into the fire, and me I jump under the pain. So I see them now move me, drop myself around again. I get up back and I run to the window. I don't remember how I got out, but I knew that I looked around if there were anybody else, and I didn't see anybody. There were no girls inside, none. So I thought I was the last one to come out. But when I woke up, I thought I was in heaven. I just saw this bright light, and I said, yeah, I true. You see the light when you go every man. So I looked up and I said, and I realized that it was a light post that was near to the building, because I thought it was heaven. And then I got up, and everybody was running around the building. I saw the police jeep, and I ran inside the jeep, and I took up the thing when I saw them on TV, and I said, come in, I'm a deal abundant, come in.
The speaker.
Yeah, I was talking to the speaker, and I said, come in. When I was sitting there, no answer, because I was doing exactly what I saw them do on the TV. No answer. So two girls in the front seat now turn around and look at me. And when they looked at me, they said, Jesus Christ, Dopey! And never saw them disappear so fast.
What happened to you? They were looking at you?
They were looking at me. So I said, "Oh, what is Pama do, master?" So I look in the mirror and I saw my face. It was black. Then I looked at my hands and I saw it was black and white. And I was saying, it was just a smoke and my brown skin. But when I came outside, I saw my skin hanging down and the flesh, the white flesh. And then I started to feel the burn. And I run under the pipe and I went up and then I started to feel the burn. It was burning. And everybody was running around the field, so I said, okay, I'm running too. So they're running on the field, so I'm saying, okay, they're running because it makes them cooler. So I started running and flashing. It didn't do anything.
Stay there. What a experience. Take a break and we come back.
National Cracker. This is my favorite time of day. You put a smile on my face. You're Jamaican. You're number one. Come on, enjoy it every day. You can have it in so many ways. You make it a perfect Jamaican moment when you make it national.
We are speaking with beautiful Candine, who has recently been awarded of the state at the Armadale Correctional Facility, was badly burnt in the fire. She's been through a lot, and we now welcome our Talk Up You counselor, Heather White, Associate Clinical Psychologist at Contemporary Assessment and Counseling Services. Welcome, Heather.
Thank you.
You
Thank
don't
you
mind us
for
calling
having
you Heather?
No, please
All
do.
right. All right. Just real quick, what are you hearing so far before we get into some of the positive moves that Candine is making?
Candine has been through a whole lot. She's experienced trauma in the fire. She spoke to us about that. But even before then, she was going through a lot with losing her mother and not having the support from her grandmother that should have been a very integral part of developing and fostering and motivating her development, really.
Then that's important for a child,
That's extremely
right?
important,
For
the
a
structure in the
child.
family environment.
And not having
extremely
it can
important.
lead to other problems.
It can,
Which,
it can.
You agree, Candine? Which it pushed you into certain things. All right, so let's pick up now. Let's pick up real quick. So you were badly burned. We can see the evidence of it on
Yeah.
your skin. This is what happened.
Yes. This is what is left of what happened.
Okay, what happened after the recovery?
After the recovery.
The positive moves forward after this fire.
All right. After the fire, I went to Diamond Crest.
Which is another correctional
facility. And Diamond Crest was a bit more positive for me because I realized that this is when I started to tell people about me having to have sex, because I realized that it made an impact on the girls. That they said, wow, then if Candine, because what they perceive of me is that I am intelligent and I'm bright, so they don't expect, they thought it was just the unlawful wounding that, you understand, that was my issue.
Right.
But so they were surprised to see that I had to have sex for money and so on. And so when I spoke to the girls, I realized that they wanted to open up about things also.
So it was a space that they could talk. You led them to speak up about their...
My thing is, when I
issues.
have issues, I write it.
Okay.
I don't tell it because I have a trust issue with telling people, so I write it down.
Okay.
I write it down, but I never read it. I write it. I might read it while I'm writing, which is normal, but I
Yes.
don't read it. And I don't like people reading it because that is what I want to stay in a book. That is the problems that affect me that I leave in a book.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you get rid of it, you put it in a book, and
Yeah.
you close the
But
chapter.
the positive-
But the girls were there. You were a positive role model for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us more of how you inspired them. How did you help them? Apart from just talking, what is it that you help them to bring out or find within themselves?
Well, I tried. I used myself as an example by speaking about my past. They felt more comfortable speaking, and and in doing that, in speaking about themselves, they were more comfortable in their self. They would say, okay, then I did this, I made a mistake. That doesn't mean that I am not normal. You understand? So that was, I realized that this made a change, and I said, okay, then this is something that I can do. I finally have a purpose. Because before I thought I never had a purpose. So I said, this could be my purpose. This could very well be my purpose. Making girls come out of themselves and forgetting their past, and you know, this is the future, this is now, this is me.
Is this important, Heather, to have a kind of purpose?
It is because the purpose helps you to overcome some of the challenges that you're facing. And it's a part of coping. You know, different people have different ways of coping, and she's already spoken about the writing, for example. But helping her having that purpose is what is going to motivate her to continue to look for other ways. It's going to motivate her because as a peer, other persons are able to relate to her. It's good that you have the professionals there to offer that experience, but having somebody who's closer to your age, who's gone through a lot of the same experiences, is very important. So in a way, that's also kind of cathartic or therapeutic for her to be able to provide that facility to others who might be going through similar experiences.
Nice, nice. Who is Candy now? We're gonna get to it. Thank you. We're gonna get to it now. Who is Candy now? And how are you different from the past? Real quick.
Well, Candian is no longer a fighter. I don't have a reason to fight anymore, and it feels good. Right now I'm working on my autobiography. I feel like I want to let the world know what has happened, and look at me now. I just want to say, look at me now, because when they read the book, they'll never believe that that person in the book is the same person that is sitting here right now. Yes, so I am working on my autobiography. I am now a personal assistant, and I have a young daughter. So I'm a mom.
You're a mommy now?
Yes, I am.
What advice would you give to young girls who might be on their way to becoming a ward of the state?
Well, first of all, you need to be open-minded, because there'll be lesbians there, but you can't be judgmental. You have to, I'm not saying you need to accept them, but you have to put yourself in a space where you say, well, they're lesbians, but they're human. And they have reasons why they turn to certain things. You can't be judgmental.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do we avoid ending up there? What do we need? What
well-
are the life lessons that you can offer to young women out there?
Well, how would we avoid going there in the first place? First of all, there is no real way of avoiding, because I see girls that haven't even done anything that are there. There's no real way, but it's trying to stay positive.
How do you cope?
Yeah, it's first of all, sex for money, it doesn't solve problems. It just it puts you in a state of mind that makes you so uncomfortable, because it's not a comfortable thing using your body for money. So, and you'll feel like a prostitute, even though you pretty it up like I did by having a relationship, it would feel like. So my advice is try to be yourself. And no man is an island. We all need people. And if you can't tell your mom or tell your dad, go to the bus stop, as somebody advised me, and you see that stranger, and you tell that stranger everything.
Talk up. Talk up. Thank you so much, Heather. I love it. And we're all smiling, so it's a good thing. Thank you so much, Candy.
Yeah.
You're an inspiration, and we look forward to your autobiography. Many of our children who become wards of the state do have parents who have given up from frustration because they cannot control them or just cannot be bothered. Parents, beg you do, fight a little more for your children, no? And children, not all parents are perfect. Give them a break and be easy on them. Also, my youth, some of our children have no family around to help them. I know that. And to the state, the wardens, corporate Jamaica, and private citizens, we on TUY plead with you to spend more resources in protecting, showing love, and educating the youth in state care and the youth of Jamaica. To our youth in state care and institutions, hold the faith, focus, find a dream, develop a goal, and love yourself. And when you get out, find people, whether you know them or not, to inspire you, motivate you, and take you only on the positive path of life. No matter waste no time. Talk up youth, love or no. Stepper, we know you deal with the youth every day. Talk to them.
Talk up youth, talk up youth, talk up youth, myself, talk up youth. She has been through the fire, but she's living testament to rising higher. She wears her scars as a reality of wars. She never get to know her mother, so she strive to emulate a warrior. Mother murdered, daughter left misunderstood. She has been through the fire, but is living testament to rising higher. Respect to brother, granny, and uncle. When not dead, not dash way. Nuff see her want style her as trege. Them no know her struggle. Them no know her pain. Them never dead eh? Them never dead eh? Candine the warrior, beating down stereotypical barrier. She has been through the fire, but she's living testament to rising higher. She struggle with sexuality, face much brutality. She arise to greater greatness. That's her reality. She a make a change. She a motivate. She a write. You can't hide nothing from back people in a book. You're too bright. She has been through the fire, but she's living testament to rising higher. She has been through the fire, but she's living testament to rising higher.
Talk Up Youth, brought to you by National Baking Company, a Stanley and Empress production.